I have a child. We're just trying to get him to eat any food. So the mother was like, "Oh, I tried him with rice. He ate the whole thing." Tomorrow again, I'll say, "Oh, try him with something. Oh, I tried him with fried plantain. He just spit everything out." So that happens. So, but I tell the mother, "We'll try it again. Don't give up and say, oh, I did it." So because of that, now I'm done. But it's very frustrating and very time consuming. But we just got to keep doing it. It's a lot of, like I said, repetition.
Yeah. Yeah. So are we supposed to, well, let me put this way. Okay, so my daughter's stutters.
Sorry, your
Can you hear
daughter.
me?
I'm having
My daughter
trouble.
stutters, and I have a few more students that stutter, like
Oh, okay.
stammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the first words, that drags like that. And I was thinking, if a third party cannot understand what the child is saying because of the articulation problems in speech, like if a child wants to say um lolly and says yoli, lolly, yoli, something like that. Maybe you have some sounds it cannot pronounce. So imagine that same child stutters and a third party cannot understand the child. How do we, manage the situation?
So that's a minor thing comparing to a child that is not talking a lot. If a child is mispronouncing a sound, let's say instead of saying lolly, he's saying yoli. So instead of saying
Mhm.
L, he's saying Y, yoli. So what you
Yeah.
want to work on it, you want to work on the child producing L. La la
Yeah.
la la la. So you have to teach the child with the L, you have to raise your tone. La 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 lolly, lolly, la
Hmm.
lolly. So like I said, you have them look at you and then show them how to produce the L sound. It's not going to be done in one day. So you have them do it, a lot of repetition, like producing
Yeah.
L for lollipop,
Yeah.
for lollipop.
Okay.
So after you've done that, then you want to look at where the child is stuttering on. I know in
Okay.
Nigeria they call it stammering. Where the child is stuttering. Is the child stuttering on the initial sound? Like I know some kids, if they want to say like potato, they will potato. You know, they stutter on the P sound. And then there's some kid who stuttered on the whole word, like because
Yeah.
they're shy. So the first thing you want to teach them is you want to tell them to slow down, think about what they want to say, take a deep breath, slow down. Because sometimes people stutter because one, is genetic, and two, they are overexcited and they're shy
Okay.
because they're afraid that they're going to produce it the wrong way because they know they're a stutterer and they already know that you're looking at them. So they're going to stutter more because they know they're a stutterer and they don't want you to see that.
Hmm.
So the first thing you want to teach
Yeah.
them is that take a deep breath, think about what you want to tell me, and say it nice and slow. So take a deep breath. Now you want to say potato. Think about that pizza that you want to say potato. So you have them take a deep breath and think about it and say it nice and slow. Potato. You know, and you can model it to them. You can show it to them. So you take a deep breath. Now think about P for potato, and now try to say it nice and slow. Potato. You know, so it comes
I
nice,
like that.
so that they're not like potato because they
My daughter throws her head back before talking now. I think it's gone worse.
So you have and tell her, sit straight, look at me, put your head down, and
Mm.
say what you want to say. Avoid her throwing her head back. Because when she's
So
throwing
when
her
I
head back,
say that's a behavior, right? And it might be
it's a behavior.
difficult.
It's a behavior. And once she's throwing her head back, it's avoiding her saying what she wants to say correctly.
Yeah, so when I just say that was bumpy, then she self tries to correct herself.
Yeah. And as they get older, it becomes easier because now they can self-correct themselves because now they're more mature.
Okay.
But if you're
Okay.
trying to teach a 4-year-old, it's still hard, you know. But the
Mm.
older they get, the better the speech gets because then they're now saying, "Oh, okay, I have to to put my head straight to talk. I don't have to talk like potato.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the older
I think my Go
like,
ahead. Go ahead. Go
no, I
ahead.
was just gonna say the older every child
Okay.
gets,
Okay.
the easier
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. My last question is something that has been bothering me. And this I see a lot because 99% of my students have Down syndrome. Is as even the grown-ups, like with the articulation problems, how do we get around that? Do you think is it just okay to just let them speak the way they can speak? Do we need to
It
speak?
depends on,
Do we need to continue to correct them, even those that are teenagers or older? Because articulation is a big problem.
articulation depends on the age.
Okay.
The older they get, the more you have to put emphasis on it. The younger they are, you don't put emphasis on it. If a child is 3 years old and you're still trying to get them to talk and they have articulation, I'm more happy that they're talking. But if a child
Okay.
is 6 years old, 8 years old, and instead of saying banana, they're saying nana or
Mm-hmm.
wana, then I'm
Mm.
going to start correcting that. Because
Okay.
if you don't start correcting it early, at 6 years old, they're going to keep saying it that way till they're 15 years old. So the older they are, you have to pay emphasis on the articulation. You have to show them the correct pronunciation. But if they're
Yes,
three
I
years
think
old,
that is so important.
yeah. If they're 3 years old and you're still trying to get them to talk, I wouldn't worry about it yet. I want to.
That is so important. Yeah.
I want
Take some
them to
water.
talk.
Take some water.
My focus would be like, oh, getting them to talk more at 3 years old. But
Sorry.
at 6 years old, start making that correction. If there's